Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I'm your host. I'm so happy to be here. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. Just going to double check. Yep, should be live everywhere. Okay. Okay, I just realized I did not post my banner over in 1-2 Radio, so let me do that. Oh gosh. Yeah, things are a little bit wild around here. We're getting ready for the last witches market of the season, and so as you can imagine, we have a lot going on, a lot of irons in the fire. So just as I walked in here, Scott needed me to weigh in on something. And so I'm just feeling a little bit late, but that's okay. It's all good. Oh, so how was your weekend? All these planets in retrograde and not retrograding or, coming back to direct. Just seems like there's a lot going on, like really a lot. So I'm curious to know. I also had to move my desk a little bit, and that's resulted in my wall being kind of askew behind me, but oh well. It is what it is at this point, right? So, oh gosh. So, I do want to let you know that we're over in the chat room, and you can find it by heading over to 12radio.com. Click on the chat button, and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. Uh, and you'll see my banner there at the top of the page. I'm also live streaming this event from YouTube and Facebook. That's Katie Weaver Domestic Mystic in either place. So shouldn't be too hard to find, but that's where I'm at and what I'm doing. So I'm excited for for both places. And just so you know, I am streaming or paying attention to both chat rooms. So if you are chatting with me. If there's something you want to say or weigh in on, that's the way to do it. Oh my gosh, you guys. I seriously. So we went to Missoula this weekend to watch Mars play softball, which was awesome. Um, they played D1 schools and NAIA schools, so 4-year schools. So our poor little freshman pitchers pitching on seniors. They put up a good fight. They did quite well. They lost 3 games. They won one. Mars played very well. I have no complaints. It was a fun weekend. I don't know if you've ever been to Missoula, but Missoula is a cool town, a really cool town. So I have no complaints. We had a lot of fun. We also left everyone home, the dogs, the pigs, everybody. We left them home with a babysitter. Of course, the pigs always stay home, but the dogs usually get to go. And we just decided this time it would be so much easier to leave them home with a babysitter. So we did. And they did great. And it was really, really nice for us to just have a weekend away from responsibilities. And yeah, it's a weird feeling when you've got so much going on at home, with all of our fair prep stuff to be like just relaxing. But it's good for us. I think it's good for us. But anyway, I do have a lot of show and tell. I just wanted to get my photos together here. I've been working on a lot of sublimation, as you can imagine. Lots of things that I've been wanting to do. And yesterday was the day for a bunch of it. So I'm excited to have a bunch to share with you. So I'm going to post some stuff up in the chat room here for you, and we'll move on from there. Now, if you're local and you're wanting to come to the the Witches Market is on Thursday from 6 to 9 p.m. at Healing Hands. So if you are local and want to come, I would absolutely love to see you. Last time, a lot of friends came. It was really fun to see so many of local listeners and just local friends that I haven't seen forever. Seems like going to events like that is like just old home week, which is pretty fun. I'm also dressing up. I know this will come as a really big surprise, but I'm dressing up like a witch. Every year it's a witch or a gypsy, And I understand that that word can sometimes be taken as a slur. I don't really know what the alternative word is, but my ancestry in the 1800s in England were nomadic people, which would have been considered, gypsies, I guess. So I mean it with all of the respect in the world. It's literally my own ancestry. But I know that sometimes that word is a bit of a trigger for people. So I apologize if it is for you. It's never my intention to be disrespectful in any way. But from the time I was a little girl, actually, I dressed up like a nomadic person, fortune teller, every year for Halloween. My mom would be like, "Don't you want to be something else?" Nope, I do not. This is what I want to be. I can remember in fifth grade uh, buying these gigantic earrings, like big golden hoops, to wear with a scarf tied over my head and my big hoop earrings. And that was a part of my costume. And then wearing those earrings all the time because I loved them, even though they were a part of my costume for Halloween. It didn't matter. I loved them. I wore them constantly because, well, they are me, you know? And then, of course, a witch. I've been a witch a million times because, well, I am a witch. And Scott always says, I don't know why you always dress up as a witch for Halloween when that is literally your daily attire. And he means it in the best of ways, not hey, not an offensive way. That's just the truth. Anyway, so I'm curious to know, are you guys dressing up? And if so, what? I bought a really cute dress, a witchy dress from Dress Lily. And then I have a cape and a hat to go with. So I'm excited. It's my jam for sure. My niece is coming to help and she's dressing up as Freddy Krueger. So that'll be interesting. All right. I put a whole bunch of pictures in the chat room over at Once You Radio, and now I'm going to share them up here in the live stream too, so I can share them with you guys. And we'll talk about it. But I want to say hi to all of my chatters in both places. Good to see you all here. I hope you guys are having a nice kickoff to fall. It's been really lovely here. Fairly warm during the day, absolutely gorgeous at night. I have no complaints. Actually had to add an extra blanket to our bed, which is awesome. So, no complaints at all. And the leaves were really starting to turn, especially driving up through Montana. A lot of the leaves turning, which was awesome. So, I'm all about it. All right. Well, I'm going to show you some stuff. I decided to show it all via picture rather than in person today because I already have it all packed up. And yeah, I've got to make life easier for myself somewhere. So I made all of these metal signs. A while back, we were at a candy store in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and they had walls. Their walls were lined with all of these metal signs. And I loved them. And uh, you can buy those, at various places, but I thought, I'll bet I could make those. So I did. So they are 11 by 14, so they're fairly big. They're good sized and they're a good, like, heavy tin. So anyway, I'll just scroll through these and show you guys. I did two that were a nod to Outlander because, well, how could you not? I mean, really. I've been working on the designs for a while, waiting for the blanks to come. And they finally showed up right before we left for Montana. So I couldn't really do them then. So I've been waiting. And so here we are. This sign says Halloween rules. Believe in the magic, eat, drink, and be scary. Trick or treat, be spooky, have fun, carve a pumpkin, wear a costume. Sounds like pretty good Halloween rules to me. And then kitchen rules, witches' kitchen rules. I love this. I want to hang this in my own kitchen. and then Kitchen Witchery. Love it. And then one more nod to Outlander, and of course, with the dragonfly and the poem. All right. And then I made some, a while back, I had made a mosaic. I called it a mosaic tile magnet for for the fridge. So it's actually 9 2-inch magnets that put all together as a 6 by 6 inch square. And so I wanted to do a bunch of those for the fair. So I did this awesome raven and some mushrooms. This says stars can't shine without darkness. The picture just seems dark. In person, it's not hard to see or read at all, but somehow the picture just came across a little dark. And then that same dragonfly, because I can't quit using it. Nice lotus and chakra design. An awesome bee that says "Let it be." I had such a hard time putting this one together after it was made. Just to put on the cookie sheet so I could take a picture of it. I had to pull the picture back up. I'm terrible at puzzles. I couldn't do 9 2-inch pieces. Pathetic. This is the tree of life that I designed I initially made this into that's on my fridge. So I made another one to sell. And then I love this. Be your own kind of beautiful with a rainbow. Yeah. So that's what's up. That's some of the stuff I've been working on. Lots of stuff, as you can see, per normal. Yeah. Yes, lots of lead up to the full moon, Sid, for sure. I don't know if there's a full moon I love more than the full moon in October? It's not even the harvest moon. We've already had that, but still, it makes me just feel very witchy, I think, and feeling the magic of the earth? So that's yeah, I'm very excited. So we are going to do full moon fairy tale tarot today. The full moon is probably closer to next Tuesday's show. It is, but then it's done. So we have to go this direction. All right, I'm going to share Luminous in both of the chat rooms and we'll go through it. A panelist said we went from AC the one day to turning on the heat the next. Did you? Yes. Well, and of course, for all of our Floridians or others, that have been affected, of course, Puerto Ricans and anyone else in states that were affected by all of the storms and stuff. We want to, of course, send you guys a lot of love and hope everybody's okay. If you need some support, please reach out. Let us know. We don't get natural disasters like that where I live, like ever. So I can honestly say I don't know how it feels. I'm here to support, of course, but I've never been through anything like that. So all the love to you guys. Okay, I do have one more thing to show you before we get to Luminous. Now, if you guys have, and I'm so sorry I don't have a picture for the chat room, but if you guys have ever been on TikTok, you've seen people doing these pendulum boards. So it's a pendulum board with a pendulum that's mounted. It's actually magnet run. So these are so freaking cool. So and Scott has worked so hard to develop some of these before the fair. Because of course he had no pattern. This was all just out of his brilliant mind. But so you have your board, of course, that has all of the hits on it. Maybe yes, wait, no, rephrase, yes, no, now. And then of course you have your pendulum that hangs right in the middle. So you ask your question and then you give the pendulum a spin and it falls onto the magnetized spot. So you can see how it's searching. And then, all right. I didn't ask a question, but it landed on yes. So should we ask a question? I want to know if it's going to rain here on Thursday. Maybe. Okay, see, I don't want that. That's okay. We'll live with it. Anyway, these are so freaking cool. We've never seen anywhere. I wanted to buy one when I was seeing these on TikTok because they're amazing. Of course, we couldn't find one, so Scott just went ahead and made one. So, anyhow, actually, he made a couple, but just wanted to share those and show them off. That is really cool technology for pendulums. I've never seen anything like this till I saw people on TikTok using them. But if you see when it searches it out, see how that looks? So freaking cool. Anyway, good job, Scott. What did you say? Coming to Etsy soon? Yeah. Yes, for sure. Those are. Yeah. Okay. So let's look at Luminous. Sharing my screen. Okay. I made an AI cover this week. And what I asked AI to imagine was the mists of Avalon in the autumn. And this is the image that it created. I thought it was kind of cool. Okay. I called this magazine, this edition, the Who Are You edition. Seeing a lot of people right now kind of reforming their beliefs and ideals. And I think it's really, really interesting that we're in this space right now where people are kind of looking at themselves and their lives and their ideologies, their religious beliefs, spiritual beliefs, maybe even otherwise, political beliefs, societal beliefs, and making some shifts and changes. I think it's fascinating to see that going on right now, where we are just, still trying to figure out who we are and what we're up to. So it's never too late to change. I think that we get core beliefs from childhood that lock us into beliefs about who we are. And sometimes it's really hard to get out of that, to get out of that space or that belief space, even if it's not really what you believe anymore about various things, right? But anyway, I just think we're in an interesting space right now where we really are kind of reevaluating and reforming yet again. So that's why I called Luminous this week. What I did? Okay. In my musings, I put up an infographic. I actually made this a couple of years ago, but I thought it really applied. I'm talking to a lot of people right now that are struggling with a lot of anxiety, more than they normally do. So these were lifestyle changes for reducing anxiety. Adopt healthy eating habits. Healthy eating habits help to reduce anxiety as well as lift mood and improve overall physical health. That is you figuring out what works best for you as far as uh, eating is concerned. I think that this never applies to everyone in the same way. You can't put it all in the same box. You just absolutely cannot. And so it really is about being intuitive with eating and figuring out what style works the best for your body, what your body wants, and, applying that to the way you live and take care of yourself. Yeah. Okay. And then, secondly, give importance to sleep. This is a big one. And a lot of people, they see, sleeping hours as optional time, for other things you want to get accomplished. But unfortunately, it just it's not it's not negotiable. The importance of sleep can't be overstated. Years ago when I was directing a childcare facility and my sister-in-law Rhonda was directing the other side of that, which was the partial care facility. And so we had the kids, it was an inclusion center. So we had all the kids together for the better part of the day. And we of course gave them a nap in the afternoon. You're talking about babies up to like age, well, 10 or 12 in the summers, but during the day for the most part they were littler kids, like before school age kids. So of course we gave them a nap. Like there's no question there that we would give them a nap. And then the older kids would get downtime where they could play a game or watch a movie or whatever. And some of those kids really did take a nap, even the big kids. That's normal and acceptable at any childcare facility, regardless of whether it's a partial care or it isn't. And one day, the owner, who was a therapist, came in and was shocked that we had the whole place shut down. Most of the lights were out. The entire center was basically asleep. And he was angry because he said that by state standards, because of the partial care side, we were supposed to be providing therapeutic care. And this guy did not understand that sleep is therapeutic care. And we had to do the research and pull out a lot of proof for him that sleep for children and adults is considered therapy or therapeutic care. And I just thought it was fascinating that he didn't understand that. But actually, then in doing some research, discovering how well documented it is, what sleep or lack thereof can do to mental health is pretty shocking and astonishing. Sleep. And if you don't sleep, if you have some uh, insomnia and things like that that are an issue for you, or pain at night, it is worth going the distance with your healthcare providers to get sleep under control because it's that important to your overall well being. It's not negotiable. Okay, exercise daily. Taking part in daily physical activity is another lifestyle change that transforms life and anxiety levels. Now, again, exercise is different for everybody. Maybe that's just wandering around your yard or stretching your body or walking up and down your street once. Maybe it's running 5 miles on the treadmill. That's up for you to decide. You have to decide what your body's up to, what is therapeutic for you as far as exercise is concerned, and act accordingly. Meditation, of course, meditate in the mornings if you can, or in the evenings to help to relieve anxiety. Meditation's really good for anxiety. Regularly express emotions. Finding a way to regularly express emotions can help reduce anxiety. This could be through writing and journaling, it could be through talking to somebody in a therapeutic state, or also just, having a good friend that you have good chats with. It can also be, well, really any kind of writing. It can also just be in being dedicated to expressing yourself to the people that you care about and not allowing things to bottle up inside. That's a work in progress. I know. And then simplify your life. Dealing with anxiety can be really challenging and overwhelming, but we frequently do not keep it simple. Scott and I talk about this all the time because he occasionally tends to go more elaborate than he needs to. For example, like building something and overbuilding it to the point that we'd have to charge so much for what it is that it's just not worth it. It's because he wants to do everything well, and he does do everything well. But so I always say to him, we're going to apply the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. And I have to ask myself sometimes too, are you overbuilding this or overdoing this? Maybe so. But simplifying, it makes sense. I'll be completely honest, we eat on paper plates most of the time. Is it great for the environment? No. I do put them in the recycling, but it's one of those things, you know? I think we all have to look for ways to simplify where we can and give ourselves a bit of grace because we're busy. Life is hard sometimes. Sometimes ordering a pizza is the best you can do, right? Sometimes cereal for dinner or a scrambled egg sandwich is all you've got. Great. Let yourselves off the hook. We hold ourselves to an impossible standard way too much. Way too much. Sometimes it's you that does it to you. Sometimes it's other people that do it to you. And honestly, don't be afraid to shut that down. You don't have to live like that. All right. Lots of meditations over at Planet Meditation. All right. Over at Bitch Scopes from Kelly, we have the gumption conjunction. What's your function? Well, I don't know. Okay. I loved what she said here. She said, as you may recall, if you read last week's essay, we begin the week with no pants. No pants day is where there are no major astrological transit to transit aspects. Remove your pants, sit on the couch, drink wine for breakfast, and have cereal for dinner. Okay, Cal, I'm in. Okay. She's got a bunch of really good information for us, but we'll just read one scope here. So, Taurus, a full moon in the 12th house, which is what you've got going on this week, is a deep experience if you are tuned in. Things that you have buried or hidden from yourself can come up at this time. Sometimes it's a goal or project that you set aside for emotional reasons, and your subconscious is asking you to revisit that issue. If you enjoy dreaming, pay attention to your dreams this week and next. Your subconscious mind, which absorbs everything, will not only be purging, but giving you clues on what you need to work on. You can't really see into the subconscious, but it can communicate with you about what is gumming up the gears of the progress. Awesome. I love it. So it sounds like Taurus, you've got quite the week. All right. My tip this week is to build an ancestor altar. I give you guys this tip every year around this time because this is the time. So, an ancestor altar. An altar can be anywhere. You just need a little bit of space. On a plant stand, a dresser, a shelf, a hearth, whatever. Hey Lillian, how you doing, babe? Uh Wherever you want to put an altar. And it really depends on if you have littles that are going to get into your stuff or cats or whatever, depending on where you put stuff. But this is a great time to put it together a little altar to honor those that have gone before you. I've done this in a terrarium before too, and it turned out really good. Basically, you're just going to think about who you want to alter or to honor, and then put together a gathering of things. It could be a crystal that represents each of them. It could be a picture of them or something that they had, something they owned. A lot of times I'll pull out my mom's favorite book for this and a pair of my dad's shears. He was a barber, and we have all of his scissors. Sometimes I'll pull out a pair of his scissors or something else that reminds me of him and others. For my grandma, a lot of times I'll put big red gum because that reminds me so much of her. That smells like her. That was her thing. At any rate, there's anything you could do. You could put their favorite food again, their picture, whatever, crystals, candles, whatever you want to put together that helps you to honor them. And then you just leave that altar up all throughout the month and take it down next month sometime. It just reminds you every time you walk past it to just show a little gratitude and acknowledgement to them. Very exciting for people who've passed to get that kind of acknowledgement and recognition because honestly, that's the best thing they can do, you know? To be acknowledged is the most exciting thing in the world for them. So that's how I do it anyway. Okay. The Sacred Journey of the Heart is the energy exercise from Christy this week. Ginger brings us 10 tips to attract more love. Love it. There's always more crime over at True Crime Squad. And for anybody that's following the Vallow case that I've talked about a lot, some filings this morning would indicate that Lori is just about to head back to the mental hospital, and there'll be another stay on her side of the case. So, my God. And then Anita and the Masters brings us St. Catherine Labor. So I had asked AI to imagine St. Catherine Labor in the 1800s, and this is the picture that it created. I just think it's really freaking cool. So there you go. There's St. Catherine Labor. And Jamie has a brand new video about she said full moon week is a roller coaster. So we'll see what she has to say. So that is luminous. So hopefully you find some gems in there. And as always, a big thank you for, all of the people that help contribute to Luminous. I always appreciate that very much. Laurie said, breakfast for dinner is amazing. A good scrambled egg sandwich with melted cheese is delicious. It's true. And that is quick and easy, and the cleanup isn't much. It's worth it. Yeah. And you almost always have those ingredients in the house. Yeah. Lillian said she'd like to alter a lot of people. Seems legit. Lynn, I don't know if we're going to make it to readings today or not, but if we do, I definitely will. Laurie said dealing with some anxiety, and I'm just wondering where it's coming from. Yeah, I will see. Hopefully, we'll get there. It is full moon fairy tale tarot, so I want to get there next, and then we'll see where we go from there. Yeah. Laurie said her ancestors have been coming up for her a bit more this week. Mine too. I hear that. Hello, Maureen. And Laura, Renee, Raven. Oh, I love it. Here's Renee's sign. Always be yourself unless you can be a mermaid. Then be a mermaid. I love it. I think so. Oh, Tiffany said, my most controversial costume, I suppose, was a Salem witch. I used makeup to show rope burns around my neck. Oh, gosh. It was meant to pay homage, not make fun or be offensive. In general, understood. My costumes have been around gypsies, lots of hooded capes, fairies, Cleopatra, an angel as a little girl, but also a 20s flapper, belly dancer as a teen, and always with awesome wigs. Wow. And Tiff goes all out. I love it. So good. Gotta love Halloween. All right. Well, let's go ahead and dive into Fairy Tale Tarot. Quelly, how are you? You guys okay? Just worrying about all my Florida peeps here. All right. So I already pulled the card. And of course, the question was, what do we need to know during the next full moon cycle? The card is the Sun. Major Arcana card. Oh, I should have described the card. Hold on. What am I doing? What do I think I'm doing? So you have a man in armor with a sword and a cape standing with a woman. They're kind of looking over up over a hillside, maybe. They're on like a forested path, uh, like a cobblestone path. There are a few other young women behind them, and one more, maybe a page or something like that. Lots of craggy trees. So let's go. All right. The story is The Three Animal Kings. I don't think we've read this one before. Maybe we have. I'm thinking we haven't. The culture is Italian. The keywords are celebration, joy, and triumph. Once upon a time, There were three beautiful princesses of Green Bank who were loved by three handsome princes of Fair Meadow. The princes had been cursed as babies and were condemned to be a falcon, a stag, and a dolphin. Because of their animalistic forms, the king of Greenbank refused them his daughters. The rejection stirred the waters, and the desperate princes took it upon themselves to seek assistance from the animal world. The falcon called upon the birds to swoop down and ravage the king's flower gardens, while the stag summoned all manner of rabbits, mice, and hedgehogs to trample the cornfields. Those hedgehogs, man, they'll get you every time. The dolphin solicited help from the sea creatures and instructed them to wreak havoc in the harbor. All of the chaos got the king's attention, and he knew he had been defeated. It was the hedgehogs that did it, I'm telling you. So he agreed to let his daughters marry the animal princes. Wonder if the daughters wanted to. Yeah, crazy. Silly talk, I know. The queen gave her newly married daughters identical rings as a way of recognizing each other should they be separated. The princesses bade their tearful parents goodbye and left with their new animal husbands to settle in their respective dwellings. How? Yeah, ravage the flower garden. How does one be married to a dolphin? Just asking for a friend who's marrying a dolphin. Uh, Not long after, the queen gave birth to a boy named Titone. While growing up, Titone had heard many stories about his sisters, and when he came of age, he set out to find them. Before departing, his mother gave him the same kind of ring she had given his sisters before. Titone traveled until he came to a high mountain. There he found his first sister and was given a warm welcome by his brother in law, the falcon. While saying goodbye, the falcon gave him a feather. If trouble befalls you, throw this down and recite, "Come hither." Titone headed for the forests. After an exhaustive day of travel, he met his second sister. She was delighted to meet her brother, and Titone was treated with the utmost hospitality by his brother in law, the stag. Before leaving, the stag gave him one of his hairs. Ew. If trouble befalls you, you throw this down and recite, "Come hither." Titone continued east until he arrived at the coast. He embarked on a boat and met his third sister in the sea. In the sea? So what, did she become a dolphin too? I'm so confused. Yes, Lillian, if you write one, I will read it. Yes, I will. The dolphin joyfully acknowledged his brother in law and gave him one of his scales. Do dolphins have scales? I did not think so, but what do I know? If trouble befalls you, throw this down and recite, "Come hither." Titone returned to the shore, mounted a horse, and galloped along a windy path that led into a dark forest. Of course he did. Titone. He could hear eerie howls and felt a presence circulating through the thickening branches. He saw a tower rise from a gloomy lake, and through the window he glimpsed the shadows of a frightened maiden being held captive by a sleeping dragon. Mm, mm, mm. She saw the prince and called down to him, "Please help me, O handsome prince! The horrible beast abducted me from my father's kingdom. I shall surely perish as the tower mate of this unsightly creature." Unsightly. When have dragons ever been unsightly, bitch? I don't think so. Okay. Titone took out the gifts that the princess had given him. He threw the feather, hair, and scale down on the ground and recited, "Come hither." What is he trying to do to the dolphin? Come on, man! His brethren appeared before him and assisted Titone on his quest to save the trapped princess. The falcon called upon the griffins to retrieve the maiden from the tower and to bring her down gently on the shore. Oh, we're on a shore now. Likely story. Okay. She landed lightly on her feet, as if wings had been attached to them. Then she embraced Titone and lavished him with thankful praise. The commotion stirred the dragon, and before they knew it, the creature had jumped through the window with every intention of swallowing up the intruder. But before he could attack, the stag called for bears, lions, panthers, and all other manners of wild beasts to destroy the creature. After the animals had clawed him to death, oh my God! Maybe the dragon was nice and he was just trying to make friends. Did we ever think of that? The dolphin made sure the waters flooded the tower, sinking it into the murky depths of the abyss. Wowza. After the triumphant rescue, the maiden revealed that she was the key to their restoration. Well, of course she was, for she was a high lady of rank. She was high, all right, and such a heroic deed would break their spell. With her help, they turned into handsome princes and were reunited with their wives. They boarded a carriage and journeyed along a sun drenched path that led them to a mountain inn. They were overwhelmed with their newfound happiness, for now they could finally hold another as humans. You know what's going on in that tavern tonight. That's all I'm saying. In the morning, everyone emerged from the inn and walked hand in hand into the warm rays of the new day's sun. What? What was this about? Okay. Symbols and meaning. The sun represents the center of the life force and enlightenment. Its rays have the power to nourish and illuminate the body and soul. The steps are made of rock and represent the solid foundation on which we have built our dreams. The trees, with their power to ascend towards the heavens, have strong roots firmly affixed to the trail. Shape shifting elements can be seen throughout the landscape, and dolphin, representing transformation, the deer for love and purity, and the eagle or falcon, they're not interchangeable, a sovereign of strength. The castle in the distance indicates the wholeness is within our reach. Okay, so I think what this story is really telling us is that your goals are within your reach, that dolphins have scales, and that you should keep going and manifesting because there's a lot that's capable of happening at this point. We have arrived at a positive juncture worthy of celebration. We have traveled a long road of challenges, assimilating various elements of the psyche along the way. We are now beginning to feel the merging of opposites, making the final road to individualization. Well, there you have it. Um, hmm. I didn't hate it. I'll be honest. I didn't hate it. That was pretty great. Uh, at least the princess was saved. I just kind of feel for the dragon. You just never know. Oh, Caitlin, rude. No, 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 no. Now I have to block you because you don't get to use my show as a way to scam people. Okay. Lillian said the person who wrote this was high. Quite. Yes. Sid said, "My best costume was at work. I was the waitress on American Graffiti with roller skates and all. Even wore the skates to the restaurant where we celebrated Halloween." That's awesome. How fun. My grandma worked for Melaleuca. Some of you will recognize that name. Melaleuca is fairly well known in the like new age, not new age, but like wellness industry. And she dressed up every year. But the year that really took the cake was that she dressed up as Mimi. Remember Mimi? Mimi from the Drew Carey show? Oh my goodness. Hilarious. Raven said, "One year I went to a costume party as a mummy. As the night progressed, my wrappings started to loosen and I caught fire twice due to all the candles." Oh my God, Raven. Well, gosh. I love it. One year when I was very pregnant, I think with Micah, with my oldest, I had on one of those cow costumes. You know what I'm talking about? That had the udders and everything. So I had that on with my big pregnant belly, so the udders stuck out a long ways. And I went to a Halloween party at Christy and Rhonda's house, and there was a whole table of snacks and food laid out. And I was, filling up a plate. And somebody said, "Hey, get your tits out of the food." I looked down and my udders are just all over and everything. Gosh, gosh. Another year, we put that costume on our Great Dane, who at that time happened to be profoundly pregnant, and she won a costume contest and won a whole year of dog food. So, see, cow costume for the win. Hey, Sheila. All right. Well, we've done full moon fairy tale tarot. That was pretty wow. I don't know what. Interesting, entertaining. I'm going to say entertaining. We'll take it. Yeah. So, Miss Lynn, I do have time to pull a card for you. So, do you have a specific question for me or you just want to see where the cards fall? And in the meantime, I'm going to address Laurie and the anxiety. Let's take a peek. Ooh, you have an attachment. Yep, you do. You picked something up. I don't think it's from anyone that you know. This is one of those kind of energetic leeches that get a hold of you and hang on tight. You're feeling anxious because your spirit knows, your body knows that you aren't supposed to have this. So I'm going to go ahead and remove it. It's attached to your back, but moving right through your heart chakra. I'm going to just take a minute here and call in my support to pull that off of you. Gosh, no wonder you felt weird. All right, we'll go ahead and get rid of it. Whew, and heal up your back here. Yeah, better. All right, so let's just get some good light around you. You'll feel a billion times better. That was, you don't see those very often, but you picked up a hanger oner. All right, there you have it. Much, much better. Okay. All right, Lynn said future job or whatever the guides want her to know. Now let's just pull a few cards from Psychic Tarot for you. Okay, so let's just ask in general what you need to know about looking for a future job and just take it from there. Ooh, okay, I know, big yawn, huh? I might be wearing myself out. Also, my daughter's coming home. Matea's coming home this weekend to help us with the fair and to hang out for a few days. And I'm so excited. She hasn't been home in months. And I'm really hoping that we just get a whole down day of just like watching Halloween movies and, you know, just having fun. That's my plan. I'm going to need it when this is over. Okay. All right. So the first card, Lynn, is the material and spiritual prosperity card, which is awesome because in talking about, what do we need to know for the job hunt or for an upcoming job? That looks good. That looks to me like a job that is better than what you thought that you could get with better pay. All right. Accelerated motion. I feel like once you land an interview for this job, it's going to move fast. They're going to be really needing to get hired, get people hired, and that you'll get in there quite quickly. Okay. This is the heartache and loss card. Here's why it's coming up. I feel like this job may have to do with hospice, convalescing, end of life care, something along those lines. And this card comes up because this will be a part of your reality as far as this job is concerned. Not your heartache and loss per se, but other people's. And that you will kind of find yourself in a new role of helping people to traverse through hard times. So, not your hard times, but other people's. And the message there, of course, is that you can do this. You can do this. You actually would be amazing for it. Yeah. Yes, Laurie. No wonder your right side has been hurting for sure. Okay. Oh, Liliana, I wanted to check and see if you had that attachment back or if there's anything else we need to know. Definitely major stress. It's not, but your R is really dense. Definitely stressed from the hurricane, not just yours, but like your whole communities, your whole state. So I'm going to just clear your aura. You should feel a whole lot better. Like a big, thick, wet wool blanket hanging over you. All right. That is much, much better. Dang. Okay. All right. Running back over to the other chat here quick. Terry said she was a bag of grapes was her best costume. Clear plastic with green balloons, and my hair was gathered to look like a stem at the top. That is so cute. What a great idea. I love it. Christy and Rhonda had ketchup and mustard costumes for a long time that they wore quite a bit that were super cute. One time as the Psychic Sisters, when we still had healing hands, we dressed up, the four of us, we dressed up as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And that was fun too. Love it. Well, guys, we've done what we do. We've talked down to the end of the show. I want to thank you guys all for being here. I want to remind you that I'm a professional psychic advisor over at one2listen.com, and you can find me over there every single day doing what I do. So if you need a reading, a clearing, some energy work, a shot in the arm, a sister, a friend, I'm over there. I'll help you out any way I can. So keep listening. There's just so much good stuff going on here in the 1 2 radio world these days. I'm sure you've noticed tons of shows. It's awesome. So this has been yet another production of The Katie Weaver Show here on 1 2 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.